Hey guys, Josh from Cebu Survivor, and today I just want to go over how to make a simple decoction and infusion herbal tea blend. The reason I want to go over this is because this has helped me in my healing journey. I've worked with my doctor to kind of find herbs and make tea blends that are helpful for my gut and my whole body and to support it. And there are a bunch of different herbs you can use. You have to do a little bit of research and find herbs that are maybe helpful for your specific situation, but I'll put a list with herbs below, ones that are good for your gut, ones that are good for adrenals, and other different issues that you're dealing with, so you can make a nice blend. So what a decoction and infusion blend is really, so a decoction is any of the harder herbs, like ginger root, licorice root, burdock root, any of the harder herbs, and a decoction is when you basically simmer those harder herbs on low heat for a longer amount of time. So like 20 to 30 minutes, you can simmer those herbs to really extract the medicinal value out of them. So that's the first step, and then the second step is when you infuse softer herbs after that to make a really nice blend of tea. So these are herbs like peppermint or other leaves, other herbs that have essential oils in them. So in this method, I'm going to show you how to make a decoction and infusion. So first of all, I have my herbs here. I have licorice and burdock root, and then I have a blend of passion flower, raspberry leaf, and lemon balm in this mix. And this is an overall a good digestive and adrenal support mix, and I found it very helpful. And the reason why I wanted to show you this method is because you can customize your own blends, order individual herbs, kind of mix them up in bags, and then steep them and really steep them well for a longer period of time to really get a medicinal value tea. Because even a lot of loose leaf teas that you get, some of them are very strong and very helpful. They can relieve symptoms, but sometimes having a custom, like stronger blend is really helpful as well. So I want to show you this simple method so that if you're interested, you can order your own herbs, blend them up, and make your own high strength blend. So first step is taking your harder roots. So in the decoction and infusion method, you want to decoct the roots first because it takes longer, and you just want to do that part first. So I'm just going to take 1 tablespoon here of the burdock and licorice. I'll put that down for a second, and I'm using 4 cups or 1 liter of water, and I do this because it makes enough for the whole day, so I can have 4 cups of herbal tea with this method. So I use 1 liter of water. I pour it in a teapot just over the stove here, so I'm going to pour the water in. You can do this really in any pot that goes over the stove, or you can simmer it on low heat. So really anything, even a glass, a pan or whatever you have that works to simmer herbs over heat. So the first step I'm going to do here is just insert the harder herbs, the licorice and burdock here. And then I'm just going to make sure they're kind of evenly distributed. Just wiggle it around a little bit. And then the next step is just to turn the burner on low heat. So I'm just going to do 3 on my stove. And then really the thing you have to keep in mind with tea is that really making any tea, whether you're doing it for a longer period of time or a shorter period of time, it's really just a simple process. Sometimes it can seem confusing because some different types of herbal teas tell you to do them for different periods of time, or infuse them for different periods of time. But at the end of the day, it's really just steeping herbs in water and extracting the medicinal value out of them. So for this method, I put in the roots first. I'm gonna set my timer for 20 minutes. You can do this on the phone, or I have just a little timer here that I use myself. So the burner's on 3. I'm just gonna let those roots kind of simmer, and that's gonna allow those medicinal properties to extract out of them. And so, step 1, take your water. I do a liter pour that on your stove on a a pan, or I'm using a teapot here, just putting the herbs in. I mean, you can do that. You can do any method in a pan or whatever works for you. Just to simmer the herbs on the stove. So I'm gonna let that sit for 20 minutes, and then the next step is just to take this teapot off the heat, and I'm just gonna insert a couple of tablespoons of my softer herb mix and just let that infuse. So that second part is an infusion, and an infusion you don't simmer it on heat. You just let the herbs steep in water. You're not actually boiling them. So this method is really 2 steps: taking your harder roots that you have mixed in a bag, inserting them in, decocting them, which is simmering them for 20 minutes. And then the second step is taking your water and your herbal mix off the burner, and then infusing your softer herbs for about 15 to 20 minutes. All right, so the roots have steeped for 20 minutes now, and the timer just went off. So I'm gonna pull this off the burner for this next step, and then now I'm going to infuse the lighter or the softer herbs into the mix. So it's cool because you can tell the liquor, which is the tea water, it's technically called the liquor. You can see that it's a lot of those medicinal components have extracted into the liquor because it's darker now, resembling the roots that I put in. So now I'm just gonna input 2 tablespoons of the softer herb mix that I use, and this is passion flower, lemon balm, and raspberry leaf, and these each have helpful medicinal value to them. Like I said, doing this method is really for customizing your own herb blend and learning a little bit more about different herbs and what they can be beneficial for. So I've made kind of my own custom blend, and I'll put kind of herbs below this, but it's a really good way to customize your own high strength blend that's specific to your body. So I'm just gonna put 1 more scoop here. And then this is off the burner, remember, because we're just infusing in this second step. You only simmer, you only decoct tougher herbs. So yeah. Just let it mix around a little bit, be evenly distributed. Just cover that up. Set my timer for 15 more minutes. Just let this infuse for 15 minutes. And then after that, it's as simple as taking a larger cup, because I'm using, a liter of water, so I'm gonna have a larger amount of tea liquor. And after this 15 minutes is up of infusing the next herbal blend, I'm just gonna pour it through this strainer into a larger cup and enjoy. Last step here is just simply straining it into a larger cup. So I'm gonna take my pot, I'm just gonna grab my strainer, and I'm gonna use a larger just plastic cup to store this tea. So just pour it through the strainer. And I'm gonna do a little in my cup as well, because I made a lot. And then I usually just get all the juice out of the herbs. And that's it. That's how you make a decoction and infusion custom herbal blend. And this is very high strength and very soothing.